And welcome, my friend, to day 12 in the 24 days of building muscle with calisthenics training. Today, we're looking at how to avoid program hopping, result killing FOMO, as well as a safer and more productive way of looking at weighted calisthenics training. Now, one of the things that can drastically reduce your consistency and the ability to get what you want is just tedious, mindless program hopping where every week or every several days maybe, you're going from this type of training to that type of training and doing this, and you're high volume one day and low volume the next, and some days you're going slow repetitions, some days you're doing fast repetitions, you're just kind of running around kind of in circles, not really going anywhere. And this is very easy to fall into this trap, especially these days, because we're inundated with so much information in social media, and every expert out there, of course, has the one correct answer on how to build muscle and strength, and their way is the best and everybody else is terrible, so you'd better do it their way, which kind of leads you to this emotional tug of war where you feel like you need to do everything, but also nothing all at once. But this is where having a fundamental approach to fitness really can save us. Because at the end of the day, fundamentally, most workout programs based on building muscle and strength, they're all basically the same thing. They're just increasing either tension in the muscle, time for that tension, or a combination thereof. So I know it seems like it's really different, but progressive calisthenics and weighted calisthenics are fundamentally the same thing. High volume training, low volume training, as long as you're basically cooking and burning out the muscles eventually, you're creating still the same general fundamental stimulus for building muscle. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about doing your workouts, and even though superficially on the surface it may seem different, when you really boil it down to the base layer of what your muscles are doing, there really isn't all that much difference. So that's why you can do a million different things and still end up with the same result or no result whatsoever. So don't get too excited and caught up with all the hoopla on social media. People get excited about things that work best for them, but chances are very good it worked best for them just because it helped them achieve better personal alignment, where they just feel better with a type of training. They just have more of an emotional capacity to push themselves a certain way. They just like using different tools differently. It has very little to do with what's actually going to work best for you. As long as you're working the muscle with a good amount of tension and you're pushing the muscular work capacity to some degree, you're still going to basically create the same fundamental stimulus to build muscle and strength. So do whatever suits you best, whatever you prefer to do, whatever resources you have for time and energy, whatever you feel just works better for helping you engage the muscle better. Don't get too caught up in this tug of war, because at the end of the day, it probably doesn't really matter that much what you do, as long as you have a good amount of energy, motivation, and effort that you can put into it. And second, weighted calisthenics or bodyweight training is a really good alternative to progressive calisthenics for a lot of people. This is because you can add resistance to your body without having to utilize advanced techniques, which can sometimes require more mobility, stability, coordination, and so on. Sometimes it's just a lot easier to put on a dip belt or a weight vest and just crank it from there. But we want to make sure we're having the right mindset when we go into it. Because remember that you don't get bigger and stronger just by making chunks of iron pass through space. If that was the case, well, go rent a forklift and you're going to lift a heck of a lot more that way. Instead, always remember that it's about challenging your muscular output and work capacity. How hard can you work the muscle, and how much endurance or how much you can push it into a state of fatigue. And while adding weight can certainly be beneficial to help you do that, when you make the weight itself the goal and the objective, you can start to compromise things like your coordination, your technique, your range of motion, and that's how you can still end up being with a lot of weight on you, but you're really not getting what you want out of it. So instead, always remember that the weight isn't there to make you stronger. The weight is there to challenge your technique and proficiency. So if you can do pull-ups with your chest to the bar, for example, and then you slap on a weight vest with 30 pounds, and you can't quite get your chest to the bar, well, the weight's there to effectively say, can you still get your chest to the bar with this weight that's trying to actually inhibit your ability to do that? So the weight itself doesn't get you stronger. It's trying to do the exercise as well as possible despite the weight that gets you stronger. And having that attitude usually means you're not going to lift quite as much weight, but you are going to be able to push your muscles a heck of a lot harder, resulting in a much stronger stimulus. As always, check out the micro workout down below for a micro weighted calisthenics challenge, and likes, shares, and everything are very much appreciated. If you're getting value out of this series, don't forget to subscribe because we're only halfway through. We've got 12 more days coming on up with 2 tips in each video. You don't want to miss those as well. Here's a couple of more of the videos. This one's from day 1, 3 things everyone should understand about building muscle with calisthenics, and this one's from yesterday to help you get caught back up as well. I'll see you tomorrow's video. Be fit and live free.